Yaheetech sent me their Kingswood Fir pencil tree, so let's check it out. So this is gonna be section 3, section 2, and section 1. And then we also have this small box, and we're gonna have the base along with some screws. And finally, we have the instruction booklet. So the first thing to do is to open up the legs and then make sure all the holes are aligned correctly, and this is so the screws can come inside. But before we put the screws, this can be placed down here, and we're gonna grab branch number 3, and then just remove that cap. And then this can be placed right in here, and there. And now to prevent this from sliding in place, we can screw these in here. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So here's what we have so far, and before moving on to the next step, we want to make sure all the branches are down. So this can just be pushed down with gravity, just like that. And normally what people like to do is put on the second and then the third, and then start fluffing it up. But I found that fluffing it up first makes it a lot easier. This way we can get all the way to the top part before moving on to the next step. So now it's time to fluff all this up. And if you really want to do a good job, make sure to take your time on this step. And so here's the before and here's the after. And this looks a lot nicer. And I want to emphasize, make sure to be patient with this. Doing all this took about 7 minutes just to fluff it up, and it looks a lot better. And once I finish the other 2 ones, I'm going to fluff it up even more just to make sure it looks as nice as possible. And then when taking a look from the top side, make sure not lose the cable. This is going to be the cable that we're going to connect the second section to. So once again, just remove the cap, this cap, and then place this right on top, just like so, and make sure it's oriented a good way so both of these pieces can connect, just like that. And now same as before, just open all these branches up. So this is what we have so far. So this is the before, and this is the after. And by the way, getting this second section fluffed up took about 8 minutes. So it ended up looking pretty nice so far. So we're almost done. Now the last thing to do is to put the last section up on top. And because this is gonna be pretty tall, I'm not gonna be able to fluff it up that well. I'm actually gonna fluff it up beforehand, and then I'll put it up on top. And then just as before, fluff this up, making sure to work each branch one at a time to get the most out of it. Test. So here's the finished artificial Christmas tree. Again, this thing is really tall, 7.5 feet, and I think I did a pretty good job building and fluffing it up. But as you see, there still are some spots that I think I can do a better job. So I'm gonna fluff it up even more, make sure all the branches are spread out as much as possible so this tree can look as full as possible. All right, and now I'm finally done with the tree, so I fluffed it up even more. And this really shows that taking your time and doing a good job is gonna make the tree look a lot fuller and a lot cleaner. And you can also tell you did a good job if you're kind of confused where the branches are. So these branches are kind of intermingling with the branches up, and spreading them outwards is good just to cover up as much dark spots as possible. But before we take a look at how the light looks like, let's take a closer look at these branches. So here you could see they have like these little green bristles all around, and they appear to be all the same color. And of course, the way, depending on how the light hits it, some look darker and some appear brighter. But overall, this looks like a high quality tree. It feels very nice, but now time to turn this on. All right, so here's the before and here's the after. Check out the lights. They're evenly spread out. They twinkle, they shine really nicely, and this is gonna be more of a yellow color. Building it didn't take too long. You just got to be precise when it comes to fluffing it up so it looks as full as possible. And all in all, this took probably around 30 minutes to do.